Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another World of Warcraft video with your host, Papatello, bringing you the news, bringing you the coverage. And today, we're actually going over a lot of runes that have been data mined and leaked. Not confirmed. If you go over the tweets with Agron basically said that he doesn't want people, thinking that these runes are true. If you want to leak them and spoil stuff for yourselves, you can, but these are not set in stone in the future. So I do think, especially if you guys want to watch this video or not, if you don't want to watch this video about what I'm going to go over for each specific class currently in SOD, don't watch it. You don't need to. However, if you are intrigued, then my fellow ladies and gentlemen, lock it the fuck in. And I got a surprise for you. We don't got a little bottle of water today. I already ruined it. We got a big one. We got the 100 edition. It's not a Newport. It's a Newport 100. Don't smoke. No stoners in the chat. By the way, Mama Tello says thank you for the comments. She appreciates it. I treated her today. We had some Japanese katsu. It's like a pan-fried seared pork and beef and chicken with kimchi and some coleslaw and what else we have? Oh, some curry. I love curry. You got me fucked up. Anywho, chug it up. Pop the potion. I'm weak. I'm one. Got my armor plates on. It's like I'm in Warzone all over again. Lock it in, bro. Warzone 1 was way better than any other Warzone that came out. Just saying. However, man, I miss good old days of COD. Even before then, MW2, ACR, the silencer, red dot. You know what I'm saying? Settle down. However, lock it in. Let's get into the full cam. Let's talk about editor. I mean, get in that. You know what, editor? I slipped up. I slipped. I'll give you your money back. All right. But next time, if I ever say something, I slip up again. You better watch what I said. All right. Get it to the right cam right now. I'll get you. I'm talking to him right now. Unbelievable. Get it to the right cam as we speak. Fucking pissing me off, editor. He got me there. I'll give you that. You're doing all right. All right. Anywho, so now we're gonna go over a lot of these runes. Now I skimmed through some of them. I skimmed through just like looking down, just looking at the names of it, pretty much. But none of these are set in stone. None of these are confirmed. So don't take these, or take this with a grain of salt, is what I'm trying to say. I know I cannot speak right now because I'm fucking stuttering. So stop stuttering, Nico, cousin. I'm fucking losing my mind. Anywho, Gale wins. Increased damage done by your hurricane by 100%. It no longer has a cooldown, and its mana cost is reduced by 20%. We're going over Druids first. So Gore. Striking target with lacerate, swipe, or maul has a 50% chance to reset the cooldown on Mangle. In bear form, striking a target with Mangle, Cat, or Shred has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Tiger's Fury. And I really hope, if these runes are true, and I just want to say this, I hope Feral Druids get a little bit more love, because currently right now, Feral Druids they're doing their best, but they definitely deserve more love, and it's be very interesting to see if these runes start benefiting them a little bit more in the DPS area, because it seems like right now balanced druids are making their way on the leaderboards, and or the logs, and resto druids are just right now kings of healing. They're the best. I have my boy Saber. He is by far the best resto druid, I think, in my opinion, on Living Flame. Now I know Living Flame has a lot of good resto druids. Don't get me wrong, it's probably better, but this dude's up there. He's fucking good, and that's all I'm going to say. Improved Barskin. Your Barskin can now be cast on allies, no longer penalizes melee combat speed or spellcasting time, and can be cast while shapeshifted. Sounds pretty interesting. Efflorescence. Your Swiftman can now cause Efflorescence, healing all party members within 15 yards of the Swiftman's target's location for 70 every 2 seconds for 30 seconds. Wow. Okay. Very interesting. Like an AoE heal. Kind of dope. Improved frenzy regeneration. Your frenzy regeneration can now be used in all forms while not shapeshifted, and now converts your active resource into health every second for 10 seconds, up to 10 rage, 10 energy, or 5% of your base mana, basically converted up to 10% health on the wrist slot. It seems like they're going with a lot of head to wrist slots, so we're gonna get more wrist runes, more head runes is the idea. Now I know some people are like, dude, no more fucking runes. This is enough. And if we are gonna get runes, right? If we are getting more runes, which is a bummer to some of these people, but I get the way they think. Let's not take runes that are all from retail or previous expansions. Let's make some innovative ideas and get pretty cool stuff from the woodworks. Let's just throw shit out there and try it out. It's SOD after all. It's seasonal. Let's just try some new shit and see what works. But you gotta remember, This is Blizzard we're talking about. Small indie company, and we got to see what they do. You know, they do get nervous when it comes to trying new stuff out and seeing the community reaction. I don't know why my nose is so itchy right now. I didn't even do anything. Settle down. What is happening? Is this allergy season? It is spring, right? Oh, shit. I got allergies bad. So, for hunters, consumes all applications of frenzy from your pet, increasing your range attack speed by 3%, and granting 4 focus to your pet for each application of frenzy consumed last 20 seconds. Also, your pet gains frenzy each time it uses a basic attack, increasing its melee attack speed by 6% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Now, I will say this. I do think hunters deserve a lot of love when it comes to the range aspect, not with the melee. I think right now in melee, in terms of the melee department, they're doing good. They're the top 3 in terms of DPS currently on the logs for an Omer. But I think at the moment, range is taking a very, very, very back seat. And if you look at them, they're in the same places where frost mages are, and it's like not good. So I do hope that these following runes that they are showing, even the TNT with the increased damage done by explosive shot and all your damage traps by 10%, and it's only for the wrist. They didn't show anything for the head, which is obviously those things probably haven't been data mined or we haven't found them yet. But at the end of the day, I do think they deserve a little bit more love in the aspect of PvE. PvP, they're obviously fine. I mean, hunters in PvP are always been pretty solid, but in PvE, they are taking a deep back end right now. For mages, here we go. Deep Freeze stuns the target for 5 seconds. Only usable on frozen targets. Deals 394 to 458 damage to targets permanently immune to stun. Jeez, I can't fucking speak right now. I'm about to punch the TV. It's not even a TV, it's a monitor. What am I even talking about? But it sounds interesting. It seems like they're benefiting more to the frost spec. Sounds cool. Temporal Anomaly launches an orb of temporal energy, which slowly moves forward and every 2 seconds grants all nearby party members a shield absorbing 85 damage for up to 15 seconds. Sounds like more of an arcane thing, more of a safety precaution ability. I like it, not too bad. Balefire Bolt. Now this one is a big one. Unleash a reality-distorting burst of raw magic at your enemy. They already do that with the Arcane Blast and all the shit they've been doing with Arcane Mages. But, however, dealing 238 to 358 spellfire damage each time you cast a Balefire Bolt, the damage of your next Balefire Bolt within 30 seconds will increase by 10%, and your spear will be decreased by 10% for 30 seconds, both stacking 10 times. However, if your spear reaches 0 as a consequence, you die immediately. That sounds fucking nuts. The spell will be checked against the lower of the target's arcane and fire resists. Wow, so it benefits the arcane and fire specs. This sounds scary. High risk, big reward. Maybe you can do something with it where it is really good in a specific scenario, or maybe this is a fucking nutty ass rune just in general to begin with. But having the fact that you can die, that sounds nuts. Pretty scary ability. Something that I'm reading right now seems even fucking nuttier, and this worries me in terms of PvP. Teleport back to where you last cast Blink from, reset the cooldown on Blink, and only usable within 10 seconds of casting Blink. So you can Blink, teleport, then Blink again? Am I reading that right? Am I reading that right? I'm about to throw up. I think I'm about to throw up. I'm having a saliva inflation. The acidicness. The acidicness is. Bleh, I'm about to fucking. I'm about to have to throw up a dragon breath chili. If that's true, and if that's a thing in the game, you know how fast mages are gonna be. In terms of fucking zipping all around in PvE dungeons and selling, stock runs for 2 to 5 gold a pop, and they give you something like that where you're able to zip around even faster and pull everything, you're going to make mages fucking nuts. And in PvP, people are going to be getting tricked all over the street. They're going to see hot streaks come from every fucking side of the fucking planet. This is crazy. But yet again, not confirmed. So, continue. Molten Armor causes 9 damage when hit, increase your critical strike chance by 5, reduce the chance of you are critically hit by 5, and it's an armor-based ability, so it lasts 30 minutes, so kind of like, ice armor, in a way. For Paladins, which it is time to talk about the great Paladins, how do you pronounce this? Fanatism? I'm going to say Fanatism. Increase your critical strike chance with holy spells by 18% on the head slot. Sounds fucking juicy, sounds fucking nutty. For Improved Sanctuary, increase the damage prevented by your Blessing of Sanctuary by 100%. And increase the damage done by your Blessing of Sanctuary by 30% of your shield block value. Now, I see a world where that is really good for deep prot. Because deep prot right now, in my opinion, I don't think is getting a lot of love. I think deep holy, deep ret, hybrid tank is the way to go. And deep prot is kind of like, okay, you're playing it a little OD safe, depending on the pug you're with or raid group you're playing with, or if you're guild. However, I do like the fact that it increases Blessing of Sanctuary's damage done, or sorry, damage prevented, and I like the increasing of Blessing of Sanctuary 30% of the damage done of your shield by your block value. I kind of like that. It means that Deep Prot is more safe, but also can dish some damage, and I kind of dig this. It doesn't. This one doesn't turn me off as much. I don't know. I like what they're working with this. Light's Grace. Your Holy Light spell reduces the cast time of your next Holy Light spell by 0.5 seconds. Lasts 15 seconds. Now, I like this, but I'm going to be honest with you. I talked with some Holy Paladins. I talked with one friend actually earlier today, and we looked at the chest slot, and I think Paladins already know this already, especially in the Paladin Discord. The Holy Paladins are struggling in the chest department of runes. They kind of got fucked over, and they need a good chest rune. So, if anything, put Light's Grace in the chest area and come up with an innovative idea in the head area. And do something for them. Because they're good healers already. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We have some nutty Holy Paladins in our guild, and they're great. But give them a good rune in the chest slot. You didn't do really anything for them. I mean, Horn of Loridon is ass. And rework that, too. It's whatever. Wrath. Your Consecration damage can now be critical strikes. That scares me. Damage from your Exorcism, Holy Shock, and Holy Wrath and Consecration spells gain additional critical strike chance based on your melee critical strike chance. That's nuts, because if we open up that bag of worms where Consecration can now be considered critical strikes, where it's how dot damage based classes can critical strike over time, that can make fucking tanking as Holy even nuttier. I see a world where that becomes disgusting, so we'll see what happens. Improved Hammer of Wrath. The cooldown of Hammer of Wrath is reset each time it damages an enemy below 10% health. That sounds interesting. Sounds like a more proc-based ability. I like that. Yet again, another ability to click. At this point, we're all just clicking Exorcism, let's be honest. And then Purifying Power. Reduce the cooldown Exorcism and Holy Wrath by 50%. That's awesome. Let us be fucking nuking the whole world with two hands. Like Iron Man, like I've been mentioning. And Holy Wrath can now be cast at any target, will stun undead and demon targets for 2 seconds. That's awesome. So now you're basically giving them a stun. That is fucking crazy if this happens. I don't know, though. I don't know. Well, am I souped a little bit? Do I feel something hitting the tip of my you-know-what? The spiel bell? Settle down. But I'm pretty excited. Talk about Priest, though. So, Divine Aegis. Critical heals create a protective shield on the target, absorbing 30% of the amount healed for 12 seconds. So, a little bubble effect, a little absorption. I like it. I kind of dig it. Despair. Oh, God. Periodic damage from your spells can now be critical strikes. Ah, buddy. I'm a little nervous about that one. And I'm not nervous about it in PvE, because I think if Blizzard only attuned things from PvE to PvP difference, we would never be having issues with any conflicts of any classes. Classes would be perfectly balanced, but this is Blizzard we're talking about here. Small indie company. Periodic damage from critical strikes. Their dots already fucking nuke people. You're going to make them exterminate them completely and burn their ashes. Okay, put it in the game. Surge of Light. Critical spell cast. Cause your next spite, flash a heal, or binding heal cast within 15 seconds to be instant cast. Pretty dope ability. I love that for priest healers. Priest healers right now, I know they hit them with a nerf back in BFD for because they had super utility compared to Druids, but now Druids are on top and they're the kings of healing. I think priests are still fucking amazing, don't get me wrong, but that definitely would help them out a little bit more too. And Void Zone. Void Zone now goes over a target area that deals 16 shadow damage per second, pretty much. Enemies that stand with it, they get dotted for 10 seconds. It's shadow damage over time. It sounds cool. It's basically you're giving Shadow Priest an AoE, a cool little new AoE. I kind of dig that. I think Void Zone sounds like the cooler one out of all the things they mentioned. Obviously, because I do like Shadow Priest, but this one scares me. This one fucking scares me from a melee perspective. Just saying, it really does. Rogue. Combat potency, and I do think rogues will get more love. I really do hope rogues get a little bit more attraction towards, deeper when we get into WoW, because rogues are needed at the end of the day. Can't say they're not. They're a good class. Combat potency. You have a 20% chance to gain 15 energy every time you do damage with your offhand weapon. That sounds pretty cool. Focus attacks. You gain 2 energy every time you deal melee or range critical strike. Very cool. An Honor Among Thieves. When any player in your party critically hits with a spell or ability, you gain a combo point on that current target. And that is really good because the more combo points you get as a rogue, the more damage you can deal once you have them fully stacked. That sounds really fucking sick, and I like that one out of all of them. But I think rogues deserve a little bit more love. They didn't announce any wrist slots, or it hasn't been data mined or looked at, but overall, pretty cool. On to the Warlocks. I honestly also want to say this before I continue. I want to make a third alt. What do you guys think I should do? Should I do a Rogue or Warlock? I played a Warlock in TBC to the end and then going into Wrath. And then I played Warrior mainly. But Warlocks are fucking fun. And I really was a fan of the Affliction spec, and now I'm seeing stuff that they're catering to Affliction as we read this here, because I'm just skimming through it. But what do you think? Should I do a Warlock or a Rogue? I mean, they both sound cool. I love doing PvP, so I think a Rogue would be dope too. But Affliction lock in PvP is nuts too. Let me know in the comments below. Backdraft. Your Conflagrate ability now also grants 30% spell casting haste for 10 seconds. Sounds dope. Pandemic, periodic damage from your corruption, unstable affliction, curse of agony, immolate, and curse of doom, and siphon life abilities can now be critical strikes. Basically, the Wrath ability. They're bringing Wrath abilities into SOD. Now, this goes into what I'm a little concerned about. I do think Affliction Warlocks deserve to be on the board again. I do think it's cool to reintroduce Pandemic. But I don't know about the current meta that we're in where everything is so bursty, because I'm looking at the PvP side of things. I'm not looking at PvE. Like in PvE, cool. Keep all this fucking shit. PvE, it doesn't matter. Like keep all this shit and let classes do their thing and pump. Let healers feel that they can pump. Like that's fine. But in PvP, at least in SOD, right? This sounds kind of nuts. Like a lot of dots that are gonna start critting. It's just gonna be fucking ranged everywhere. It's going to be scary, and especially with Pandemic, and now I'm seeing on below, like I'm going to go to it. I see it here already, Unstable Affliction. You know, the TPC abilities, like this shit's fucking nuts. And let's continue. Immolation Aura. Burn nearby enemies for 17 damage every 2 seconds, reducing all magic damage taken by 10%, lasts until cancelled. Interesting. I think that would be pretty cool. You know, just a nice aura to have. Nothing wrong with that. I don't have an issue with this ability. Felguard, though. I mean, if they bring the Felguard, which benefits from all the talents and effects that trigger from your other demons and minions, Felguard probably could be one of the most used summons for a Warlock, besides the Fel Hunter. Or Succubus, depending on your scenario, right? Whatever you're doing, PvE or PvP. But I think the Felguard, it probably, obviously won't be better than Hunter Pets overall, but Felguard would probably be used a lot based on, you know, seeing how much damage it could do. Now, the one thing that I was, you know, talking about earlier, Unstable Affliction, you know, Shadow Energy slowly destroys the target, causing 253 over 15 damage over 15 seconds. In addition, if it gets dispelled, it causes 455 damage to the dispeller and silences them for 5 seconds. So only Unstable Affliction or Immolate per Warlock can be active on any one target. So you'll have your Desher Warlocks doing something, and then you have your Affliction Warlocks in the raid. I think it's going to make Affliction extremely viable if they do this. I think it's also going to make them fucking scary in PvP in the current state of SOD. And, you know, Warlocks are already, if you see them, they are fucking searing pain. It's just nuts, especially that, or just, you know, draining life in PvP. It's kind of fucking nutty already. But, you know, we'll see what happens. If Blizzard just says, you know, fuck it, we're just letting the boys play, letting all the boys and girls play, then, you know, do it. Whatever. Commanding Shout, that's already, you know, whatever. That's already in the game. Shield Mastery. From what I'm seeing and what I've been hearing too, is that Blizzard is really trying to fucking cater towards the Prot Warrior. And I think the Warriors don't want that. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm not going to lie. I think Prot Warrior's kind of fucking cool. I think it's dope. You know, I used to Prot Tank. I did Prot Tanking in TBC. I liked it. But I do think it was better. You know, I had more fun with Deep Arms and Fury. Just keeping it a buck. That's just the truth of it. But let's see. Shield Mastery. Increase all physical damage you deal by 10% while you have a shield equipped, and reduce the duration of all disarm effects used against you by 50%. This does not stack with other disarm duration reducing effects. Once again, you know, going for the Prot spec, this seems really good, especially if you're, you know, shielding sword and boarding pretty much. Taste for Blood. Whenever your Rend ability causes damage, your Overpower ability will activate for 9 seconds or 1 attack, and it doesn't occur more than every 6 seconds pretty much. Sounds alright. Sounds alright. It's a damaging base ability with overpower, so giving warriors something. I don't think it's crazy, but not bad. Vigilance sounds actually pretty cool the way I'm skimming through it right now. Focus your protective gaze on a party member or raid member, reducing the damage they take by 3%, and then transferring up to 10% of the threat they cause to you. In addition, each time they're hit by an attack, your taunt is refreshed and it lasts 30 minutes. The biggest issue with Warrior is the viability that they bring to a raid besides just doing really good damage with Wind Fury, right? Or Wild Strikes, right? And that's been a thing about the Warrior right now, which they're not slacking overall. They're fucking killing it. If you actually see them in the logs, they are doing really good fucking damage. It's just that in terms of like PvP, they're not that good right now. And PvE, they don't bring a lot of options to Nomer, right? It's just the way it is. They just don't bring a lot of options when other classes simply bring those options better. Like Sunder, whatever, Homunculi, removing the armor is better, and Warriors, I'm not saying they're not good, but they deserve definitely a little bit more love. I think they will get it, and I'm not going to totally, shit on the Warriors, because I know at the end of the day, back in Classic, Black and Vanilla, when they're fully, geared out, they're good. And they're fucking nuts, as a matter of fact. But I do think having something like this as a prot warrior, Vigilance, sounds pretty fucking sick. And it's a really cool utility. And I like that. I dig that. Pretty dope. Rampage. Warrior goes on a rampage, increasing attack power by 2%, causes most of the successful melee attacks to increase AP by additional 2%. This will affect stack up to 5 times. Last 30 seconds. Really dope. Rampage is sick. This ability can be used after scoring a critical hit. I really think that would be something that Warriors use on the wrist slot. I like that. I think it would help them out definitely tenfold. Sword and Board. When your Devastating Revenge abilities deal damage, they have a 30% chance of refreshing the cooldown of your Shield Slam ability, reducing its rate cost by 100% for 5 seconds. Really dope, because the biggest issue with Warriors, too, is maintaining rage generation. I got people subbing to me as we speak. Settle down! I'm trying to do a video out here. However, pretty cool ability. I like that. I think very catering. I'm seeing a lot to Prot Warriors. And some of the Prot Warrior mains out there, leave your comments below on what you guys think about this. I'm intrigued. And then finally, Wrecking Crew. Your melee critical hits enrage you, increasing all physical damage caused by 10 seconds for all physical damage caused by 10% for 12 seconds. This effect does not stack with enrage. I don't think anybody would go trade Rampage for this. This shit doesn't seem that good. Rampage seems way better. And it's on the wrist slot. They're not no shot. You're not going to do that. You would probably do Rampage, and you would probably do Taste for Blood overall, if that's what they're going to be. Now, that's it. That's all it is. All the runes for the video. It sounds pretty intriguing. Are these all finalized? Fuck no, they're not. Hell no. Is there a chance we're going to see a couple of them, though? I think so. I actually see a world where we might see some of these. I'm a little excited. I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous. But the one thing I'll leave off is with this. I really, truthfully want to see, and maybe after SOD's done, or at the end of it all, is Blizzard doing something new? Like, an innovation. I know that sounds crazy. This small indie company. I get it. I know. You don't need to meme me. But it'd be cool to see more innovative runes, more innovative places to go to within Classic, within SOD. Even if they do it within SOD. When it comes to raid, when it comes to areas, when it comes to content overall. Especially if they're ever going to lead into a Classic Plus. So that's all I want to leave it at. I don't want to rant too much about that because this is more mainly a rune video. All I was trying to say is I would like to see newer style runes that we haven't seen before. However, I know people might not be happy that they're taking things from other expansions, or maybe they're not happy with the type of runes that they are getting. But overall, what are your comments? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below. As always, much love, amigos. Look at this. I just read it on the side. Hydrate. Zooming in, editor. What are you doing? I told you to zoom in. Hydrate. It knows about the hydration nation. I don't know about this reward scandal. Sounds like a pyramid scam. Lock it in. Much love, amigos. I hope you enjoy yourself. I think it's a Wednesday right now. We're almost at Friday. Every day's a Friday when you're here. So I hope you're eating good and chilling. I'll catch you in the next one. Keep on keeping on. And as always, Papatello out. See you later. Peace. Editor, end the fucking video. I'll kill you right now.
If you want me down.